Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Will Venus, and today I'd like to give a shout out firstly to all of my neurotypical and neurodiverse friends. Hey, how are you? Today's video is going to be talking about alexithymia. So exploring exactly what it is and how it can affect our lives as autistic people and our relationship. So whether you're a newly diagnosed autistic person or you're looking to educate yourself as to what the condition is, this is the place to be. Plus, during this video, I'm going to be sharing some tips for living with alexithymia, so do stick around for that. Please subscribe if you're new and tell all your friends about this wonderful, fantastic new channel. So, as ever, this video is just going to be a very relaxed, very chilled discussion. There's no bullet points, there's nothing to promote, just myself and this channel. I really believe that by talking about autism and all of the colourful factors that it has, it can really chip away at the stigma that's often attached to it. Because being autistic, having autism, is absolutely normal. So what is alexithymia and how does it affect someone on the spectrum? Well, alexithymia is like a condition that affects 1 in 5 autistic people. It's a condition that kind of impairs picking up on one's own emotions and the emotions of people around them. Although it's not exclusively linked to autism, there are cases where neurotypical people can have alexithymia as well. Just to say my language here, neurodiverse means someone that is autistic and neurotypical is someone that's not on the spectrum, in case you're wondering. And with most conditions, it varies in severity, and of course there's no two people who are autistic and have alexithymia that will experience it in exactly the same way. So some autis might be able to identify a range of emotions and feelings, and some maybe only be able to identify a very select few. There's a range. Some people who are autistic, they might not be able to identify the emotions that they're experiencing, which I suppose kind of is linked to the myth that autistic people lack empathy, which is completely untrue. But the main thing is autistic people do feel emotions. It is there. They just sometimes don't know how to externally display it. So in terms it's a bit more easier to understand. As I said, some autistic people have trouble identifying and displaying their own emotions, such as sadness, anger, fear, stress, anxiety, depression, joy, happiness, whilst sometimes not being able to know why they feel like this or where it comes from. And some people on the spectrum, like myself, have trouble regulating these emotions. For instance, in my case, I suffer greatly with anxiety, sometimes really badly. And at times I just cannot regulate it, and I don't know where it stems from, where it comes from, and yeah, it can be really quite debilitating. I don't know where the anxiety comes from or how to soothe it. I mean, even with the traditional methods such as meditation, diaphragmatic breathing, self-care, in the end, none of those help me. And so in the end, I tend to just have to write it out because it does pass. Although when you're experiencing anxiety, it feels like it's never going to end. It's awful. I mean, sometimes this can be like an all-day affair, and sometimes it's just fleeting. So now that I've kind of briefly outlined what alexithymia is, I thought I would talk a little bit more about how it can affect our relationships with people. So if you're someone who has a friend or family member or chosen family member who is on the spectrum or maybe suspected to be on the spectrum, you might perceive their actions and words and things as a lack of empathy. I mean, for instance, if you're telling your friend something that's really personal, really emotional, really emotive, and you don't quite get the feedback that you require, such as comfort, reassurance, in the same way that you would expect to receive from your average neurotypical friend, let's say, then alexithymia could be the reason why. Or like if you have a partner, a spouse, husband, wife, and they're not giving you the feedback that you require, as they might not be able to identify or resonate with your emotions, yet this could be the reason. So, I mean, if I give you like a real life example, I have alexithymia to, I would say, quite a mild degree. And then if someone tells me how they're feeling, I'll kind of just adjust myself accordingly as to what they'll probably need. So if someone is sad, depressed, anxious, joyous, I'll be able to fully empathise with them because I'm an empath, so that comes very naturally to me, actually. Whereas on the other hand, my husband, he has a completely different level to alexithymia to me. So, like, you know that feeling you get where you're sat there thinking, I'm in a huff, I'm kind of annoyed, or, you know, just in a huff, you're kind of just peed off at the world, yeah. And I'll be thinking, why is he not picking up on this? Can he not see how I'm behaving, how I'm feeling, and he probably won't pick up on this, and alexithymia is the reason why. Which, in my opinion, for autistic people who are in close relationships, now here's the tip. Clear and concise communication is the absolute key. You have to communicate clearly. Because, I mean, as far as my husband's concerned, there's nothing wrong. Everything is just fine and dandy. But he needs that physical prompt for me to say, physical and verbal prompt for me to say, I'm not okay. I need to talk about something. I need you to help me with something. So I will actually communicate, this is how I'm feeling, this is what I need, this is what I want from you, in order for me to feel, you know, comforted, soothed, cradled, all that kind of thing. So communication is key. So I'll usually sit down, probably with a cup of tea or coffee or iron brew or something, and just chat about something rather than waiting for him to take the lead, because if I wait for my husband to take the lead, I'll probably be waiting until I take my last breath, literally. But those are like the negative emotions that he doesn't quite compute with, but when it comes to the positive emotions of life, he does recognise those. So like he can identify things like enjoyment, joy, contentment, all that kind of thing. Also, please remember, these are only our perspectives. As I said, all autistic people experience their alexithymia if they have it in a different way, to different degrees, to different levels. This is another reason why we should put the emphasis on the word spectrum. Autistic spectrum. It's a spectrum for a reason. It's so incredibly varied. So if you have a friend that's on the spectrum or potentially on the spectrum, have a little understanding and acceptance. Yes, accept it. Autism and alexithymia, they are not up for debate. They exist. They are absolutely real. Stop gatekeeping. I mean, life can be difficult at the best of times without having to constantly prove that you have a condition. Well, I hope that that has clearly outlined to you what alexithymia is. I do hope you've enjoyed listening to my subjective experience of it, and I really do hope it's been of some use to you. If you have anything to add about this video, please let me know in the comments. Keep it constructive, keep it kind. Always remember your words have power, they have influence. And of course, please click the like button to let me know that my content is of some use, that it has value. In the meantime, until I upload next week, please feel free to check out my other videos. There is a good few as of now. And I would love for nothing more than for you guys to chat away to each other in the comments. I'd really like to get a community growing here, to build a lovely neurodiverse community. I would love that. And of course, if you're new, or if you're visiting for the second, third time, why not subscribe? It's absolutely free, of course. And if you are subscribing, make sure to hit the notification bell so you get a gentle nudge from YouTube, and it lets you know every time I upload brand new content. Yeah, and share this channel with your friends as well. Spread the word. Well, I will see you all at the exact same time, the exact same place next week. Take good care of yourselves. Keep shining. Keep being your authentic self. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.